I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, baby.
Yeah,
Max.
okay, I'm
so
terrified
sorry.
now.
I want to bring the torso and make Max fuck it in front of me.
Oh my God, I did not know where that was going.
I'm sorry, baby.
Okay,
Welcome to the Adult Time Podcast.
Welcome to the Adult Time Podcast. Hello, everyone. You are three that I feel I've spent a lot of time with in the last few months. Welcome. My name is Bree Mills. Of course, you are here in the Adult Time Rec Room.
Whoa.
Right?
Whoa.
Okay, we were just going through some of the mythology on the walls. And actually, one of the props from the project we are going to talk about is going to find its way onto these walls as of the next episode.
I know what I want it to be, but it's not going to be. It's not going to be that
Well,
one.
we will get into that. Please introduce yourselves for everybody.
I'm Lilly Bell. Which camera are we supposed to be looking at? Do we not even look
You know
at
what?
cameras?
Don't even look at they're all capturing.
okay.
Yeah, we just talk amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I'm Lilly Bell. Yes.
What's up, guys? I'm Max Fills. Super happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
I am Penny Barber, also known as Mommy.
Yes, and definitely a mother to behold
Yes.
in the Pure Taboo feature, The Secrets We Share, which we all had the pleasure of working on and we're here to talk about today.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get into all of the secrets of The Secret We Share, let's start with a little icebreaker game, which we like to do here on the podcast. You guys ready to play? I believe it's called Desert Island: The Family Vacation. Okay. So we'll give a little bit of context here. The Secrets We Share is, in classic Pure Taboo fashion, a film about a very dysfunctional family and what happens when they entertain a guest one summer, played by Lilly Bell, a innocent, unassuming Canadian foreign exchange student who comes to spend the summer with Margaret, our resident mother, her somewhat estranged son, John, and then a whole host of other characters in the family. So a somewhat dysfunctional family sets the tone for this Desert Island Family Vacation edition. The game goes like this. I'm going to give you guys a couple of options, and I'm going to say if you could only bring one blank on a vacation with the very fucked up family from The Secrets We Share, who or what would you bring?
Wait, are we going with the family, like the characters, or like because I feel like Max is very different from John.
Well, definitely. So let's set the context that within the family dynamic that you all created as characters. Okay.
Okay.
What would you bring on your vacation? So let's start with that little teaser you gave us, Penny, when I said we were going to be leaving a prop on the set from The Secret We Share. You said that you have something in mind. So the first thing is, if you could bring one prop from the movie, The Secrets We Share, on vacation, which one would you bring?
Can I go first?
Yeah, you should go
No,
first.
because I know my answer. So for me, it's a toss-up. Like there's two schools of thought on the subject. Either there's that creepy notebook that I still have in my. Thank you, by the way. Great prop. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I know I'm going to show it to everyone, which is why I would want to bring it on vacation. It's this notebook that has all these really fucked up drawings of me being like stuck and murdered and like cut open and stuff. But if it's this family that I'm going on vacation with, can I say Can I say what I want, Bree? I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess you can just cut it out.
You know what?
I
We
know.
have the power of bleep that we
Yeah,
can
you can
use
just
at
cut
any
it out.
point. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, baby.
Yeah,
Max.
okay, I'm
so sorry.
terrified now.
I want to bring the torso and make Max fuck it in front of me.
Oh my God, I did not know where that was going.
my.
Yeah.
Sorry, baby.
Okay, and we are not gonna explain any of this.
That's what I want.
We're not
Oh
gonna
my
explain.
God.
We're not gonna explain what that means.
Dude, I forgot.
We never do what I want to do.
People are going to need to watch this. But I want to clarify, I'm pretty sure you have not even seen that yet, right?
He sent me a picture.
Ah, so you've seen it, okay.
No, because can I tell you a story about
Yeah.
that real quick?
Yeah.
I made my nails red for you, Bree.
You did.
I fucking hate red nails. And so when I was going into my manicurist, they're like, what are you doing? You don't like this? And I was like, well, it's for a movie. And they're like, what are you talking about? And I was like, well, because and so I showed them a picture of the prop, and I thought that would end the questions, but it just started them.
Yeah.
I mean, that picture does not, that's a picture that you shouldn't really keep on your phone.
No, it's ridiculous.
For potential legal reasons.
Well,
So,
if I need you to bail me out.
There you go. I'll explain. It was all just a prop. Okay, so I hope this has piqued the curiosity of everybody listening, but you would pick the torso and you would make...
If I'm going with because I think John would do it.
Yeah.
I don't think Max would be very enthusiastic, but I feel like John would do it.
Yeah, okay, so that's setting the bar pretty high.
Okay.
Who wants to follow that?
Well, so I was thinking, if it's just a normal family vacation, then I don't know what I'd really take. Maybe my notebook because, I'm a little sad boy. But, if it was, a survival island situation, I would bring the AR.
Oh, there you go.
I'd bring the massive gun.
There you go. Also leaving great clues for this production. The Notebook, which was actually made by the same creative team that we have at Adult Time that kind of designs all the looks of stuff. Super talented artists, and Frank Stacy, who's our kind of head of creative and head of marketing, personally drew those illustrations.
Really, it looks like me.
Yeah.
Love it.
So he will be very happy to know that both of you cited the Notebook.
It's going to be my Christmas card.
That's great. That's fantastic. What about you, Lily? What would be one prop that within this very fucked up family of which you are now part of, what would you bring on vacation?
And we're stranded, or I can...
I think it is desert island.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a remote vacation.
Yeah. Well, my thought process is I would just keep my stuff with me and my phone and call my mom to get the hell out of there. So that's probably what I would be doing.
Very astute.
So nice to you, Lily. You just want to leave.
I know. Back to Canada.
Very, very astute. Okay, so we've covered the props from the movie. Now, again, in the minds of our characters, if you were going to bring one piece of masturbation material to this island, what would your character bring?
I still want the torso.
Yeah, okay, you're still going with the torso.
For me, I love a bathtub masturbation, so I'd probably just make my character still be doing that. So, but I know we're stranded on desert, so hopefully they have a bathtub.
Yeah, let's assume there's a nice resort.
Yeah.
It's like a White Lotus type of situation.
Then that can happen.
So the question is goon fuel, basically? What goon fuel would I take?
What goon fuel would John...
I mean, freaking The Notebook had a couple really hot sketches of you.
Yeah, there's some regular.
There was one where your legs were spread, you were reverse crab. It was awesome.
I'm like, do it. It's not creepy. Yeah.
Right?
All right. So, last question on this scenario. Let's think about you not as your characters now. Let's think about you all as actors participating in this movie. If you had to bring one item from each of your set bags to this island, what item would you bring?
I know exactly. I don't know if we can say it, but we got bleep. I would probably bring because that would be something that would be needed in this family, I think. You need a safety net.
We're keeping it real. Yeah. If there's a prescription, we're keeping it real.
Oh man, that is so funny. My set bag's really boring. I just have some green corrective cream and some toothpaste.
Toothpaste is a good one.
Yeah, toothpaste and my toothbrush, my travel toothbrush. I don't know.
If I may volunteer, Max.
Yeah, please.
You're a key part of your wardrobe styling in this production was all of my flannel shirts.
Honestly, yeah.
When one needs a good flannel, they default back to the Lesbian nearby, and I was able to help you out. So I'd like to volunteer that you would bring that flannel.
Honestly, that would be really nice because I do not own a single flannel. So thank you so much for that.
Got it. Hook you up. All right, Penny, one item from your set bag that you're bringing on this very fucked up family vacation.
Like Margaret, am incredibly vain. So I would just bring false eyelashes, honestly.
All right, everybody. So I think that covers it. I don't think, we got a torso, we got a notebook, we got some other things. We've got some false eyelashes. That sounds like a lovely vacation. Where on earth would this vacation be?
Well, I was kind of feeling your vibe with the White Lotus style type of thing, you know, something that's like ritzy, but that obviously Edward would be paying for, I would assume, with his big job that he's...
The mysterious job that's always taking him away on business. Yeah.
Oh, there's this like hotel. I can't remember what it's called, but I've stayed there a few times in Hawaii where they have like the boats that take you to your rooms. And I think they got rid of the parrots. Like, do you know what I'm talking about?
I know the
It's
vibe.
on a big island.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah, I really like it there. They have this like crazy pool system and like, you know, the pina coladas are flowing. And there's like all this like art, like Hawaiian. It's like a museum basically, but it's a hotel. I fucking love it. I don't remember what it's called though. I'm sorry. They probably don't want me promoting them anyway.
No, but I will say if this movie blows up and we ever get to do a sequel, that sounds like a great location.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All
That'd
right,
be a great
in that case.
location.
There you go. Okay, so we've teased out some elements of this film. Let's dive into the secrets we share. So I'll start by giving a small recap of kind of the inspiration behind the story, and a little bit of why I picked each of you to go down this rabbit hole, and then I'm going to turn the mic to ask you guys some questions about it. So I wanted to do a story that really was going to become a like perennial fan favorite for Pure Taboo fans. They love dysfunctional family dynamics. They love drama. They love a little bit of controversy. And so I started out this year wanting to make a movie about a bad dad. And I did that earlier in the year with a movie called The Party's Over. And then I thought it would be really fun to do a movie about a really bad mom. And so I just knew it was that. I wanted to do a movie about a really bad mom. And it didn't take too long before I thought, who would be the best bad mom in the
What are you
business?
trying to say, Bree? What are you getting at?
What I'm getting at is, like obviously, MILF Performer of the Year. Love the stepmom role play
I
and
love
fantasies.
terrible moms. They're the best.
Huge audience for it within adult time. So that was kind of like, those are no-brainers. But I know, like, having worked together a bunch and having had a lot of good conversations about what you're interested in. And Penny is always trying to one-up me.
I know it's like a competition.
It's
like,
always
I'm
like a
who's
competition.
Grosser?
Yeah, it's always a who's grosser competition between
You've won
Penny
a few
and I.
times, Bree.
I think
it.
ultimately, deep down inside, I might be grosser, but I don't know if I want to actually go head to head with you on that because I'm a little intimidated.
Do you want to fuck the torso while I watch?
I do not. No.
Okay, well then I think that settles it.
There you go. No, but I knew Penny would be a great bad mom, and I knew that you would take the challenge and run with it because you enjoy the nuances behind the fantasy. And then I also wanted to do a story about a relationship between, of course, within role play fantasies, nobody is actually related. That's a really key tenet of the family role play stuff. And so anything that was going to be sexual within this movie wouldn't involve people that are actually family.
Yeah.
But I wanted to explore the dynamics between mothers and sons, especially as it relates to a lot of topical things in the world, right? And looking at some of the kind of issues that young men have been facing, which don't actually get as much attention as they really should. And a lot of things that have to do with guys not growing up in an environment in which they can kind of communicate and articulate and express themselves, and like some of the problems that have happened with like incel culture and stuff like that. So I wanted to explore a story between a mother and her son and not have to put all the steps in between that to really just study the relationship between a mother and a son.
It's fun the way you did it.
Yeah.
I like it. I've never seen it that way before.
Yeah. Well, and because that is taboo. It's taboo to do that in taboo content because we don't do that when it comes to having sex. But you two, despite having great chemistry in other projects, did not have sex in this movie.
No,
at
didn't.
all. And that was kind of fun to then work with both of you. And I wanted to cast you, Max, and this was also a very early decision for me because we had worked together on Let Me In last year, and I was I had heard about you, and I knew that you enjoyed the MILFs.
Yeah, of course, naturally.
Yeah. And I knew that, you were like a good performer, up and coming. But when I saw you get pushed a little bit in terms of like the dramatic acting stuff and how quickly you met that, maybe without even fully realizing.
Yeah.
I said to myself, I'm gonna give that boy a really challenging role next year.
Thank you.
So that was another thing that for me was like, early on, I had a feeling that it would push you. And I think we sufficiently did, and we'll talk about that. But that what would come from that would show the range that I knew that you had from that project.
Thank you. That's
Best
awesome.
actor.
And then I needed to anchor this dysfunctional family with someone who would come into this situation and get herself realistically tethered into it. Because the story on the surface, would be something where if you read it, you'd be like, well, I would just bail in a second and never get involved with these people. But life doesn't ever work that way. We all think we would do something until we're in the situation. So I needed someone who could play very, mature, realistic, level-headed, competent, rational, not like an innocent, kind of naive character, but like a real person that would be put in this situation. And Lilly, you've always struck me as being someone who is very, true to yourself as a person, and that comes out in your performances. And also, I knew that you would really give a shit. Like, I knew you're a good actor, you're a great performer, just if you were given a juicy role, you would take it.
Yeah. And
so that also became very easy for me, because I knew also your character would make it believable that someone would get in over their head, and so that's what created, and then we rounded out some nice boys to go around, a couple of stepbrothers, Charles Dara coming in as Edward, a classic Pure Taboo OG, and then we created this movie. So that was sort of my inspiration behind it, exploring the relationship between a mother and son in a taboo movie, itself being taboo, bringing some realism into how can something unravel, and then having a bit of controversy at the end. Okay, and we won't fully spill the beans, okay? We've given some clues, but we're not gonna fully spill the beans. But I want to know, is this without a doubt the most disturbing project that you have all worked on?
No.
I love that Penny says no. She's like, no, child's play.
No, this is nothing.
What is the most disturbing thing you've ever worked on?
It begs the question,
It's my project, my mother's body.
Let's frame it within the concept of like kind of mainstream projects adult projects for the studios you've worked on before.
My stuff is still, okay, you know what? I do have like high production values.
You do.
But like when I can do my own content, it's disgusting. And I just like say whatever the fuck I want. I don't have to, I don't have a breather being like, we need to be compliant. When I'm allowed to just do whatever I want, it gets crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think that, this is probably the worst, the worst one. That's for a studio that you guys have rules and everything. I bet you guys.
For sure. Yeah.
Really?
I've never done I don't get put. Yeah. I mean, the roles that I've all done. I mean, I played a killer once before, but it was for Dorcel, and Dorcel's very calm, and so yeah. Or I play like psycho girlfriend. Like I'm really good at that. So yeah.
This is easily the craziest role I've ever done.
I'll book you for something.
Yeah, you should book me for something. I'd kill it.
I got to get that torso first. Get my hands on it.
I mean, I've shot some student films here and there. I grew up in LA, so I shot a couple random things for some friends, but this is the first time I've had such a lead role in such a ridiculous one. Something that's so far from who I am as an actual person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was fun.
Yeah, so that's actually a good segue into my question, which was, you each had it was a pretty challenging role to play for each of you. So I want to get a little bit of insight into, where did you pull from? How did you bring each of your characters to life? What were some of the, highlights for you in terms of your performance and getting into the mindsets of each of your characters?
Should I go first?
Yeah, I want to hear your answer.
Okay, so I've lived a lot of lives already. I'm only 28 years old, but I've lived in Colombia for almost a decade. I grew up in downtown LA for a long time. I went to high school in downtown LA. And then I went to school up in Santa Cruz for a while. So those are three very distinct worlds. And in my time between downtown LA and UC Santa Cruz, it was a very dark part of my life. So I kind of just pulled from that area. I was addicted to some drugs back in the day, so I kind of just pulled from that also. And I just kind of like re-put my psychology in a familiar space, but that was like similar to the character. So I kind of was just like, you know, I was like, okay, I've been here before. I can make myself feel like this again. So that's kind of what I did. It was very psychological. It's a lot of like, I didn't really do anything physical. I just like very focused in on that time in my life and try to like relive it basically.
Yeah.
I eat, breathe, and sleep this. I love being a fucked up mom. I watch a lot of films about fucked up moms. White Oleander's like my comfort movie. It's what I do exclusively in my personal sex life. Like abusive moms. I think it's hot. I think that it's like the ultimate dirty thing. And I don't know, I just do it all the time. So I didn't really have to.
Case in point, why, when I thought of who would play a really bad mom, you were the top of the
Like,
list.
Penny's a monster.
Yeah.
Get her in here.
She's also the sweetest mom.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
Well,
and that's the switch, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you get them.
True.
For me, it was interesting. I've never done something like that before. I'd say for me, it was very frantic how I got myself into it. Like I was very opposite of Max. Like I made myself do the sounds of crying. And like, I know this sounds kind of silly, but like my parents would kind of do a Ferber method as I would get older. Like I would have like major tantrums when I was like 10, and then I'd be crying at the doorway, like wailing, like just trying to get my parents to come down to see me, and they wouldn't. You know, and then I go in the mirror and I cry more, like seeing myself cry, like make myself cry more, like just, I don't know. And so I pulled from that a little bit from like my childhood. And then I also like, my stepdad's going through some terminal stuff. So I kind of like pictured him in a bed, like bald. And then just like weird things were like flashing through my head. And then I heard Elena going like, she sounds really psycho. And I was like, yes, I do sound psycho. And then that made me like do it more, but having to do it 3 different times, that was really interesting. And Nikki really helped me that first time, because that first time to put myself in that was tough and it didn't feel real enough. And then I got there, I felt like. And then I got there so hard that I threw up. But
Yeah. So I wanted, with your permission, Lily, I'd love to share that story, because I think it's a testament to, like, I got to watch each of you get to kind of your character's rock bottom place. And it was very fascinating to watch how each of you got there. And in the case with sort of the climactic scene that Lily's speaking about, our PA, who also has done a lot of acting, was kind of there right beside you, helping kind of in a way get you to that sort of method place. And it was, I think it was so physically overwhelming that, you ended up in the bathroom. And of course we all were like, oh, we feel terrible, you know, like, and this is, you know, so we do the scene, and it is, you know, we do the first part of it. It happens. Everybody's going to take a lunch break. Where's Lily? Oh no, Lily's in the bathroom. Oh my gosh, is she okay? Okay. And I'm sort of saying to everybody, okay, let's just simmer down, let's switch gears, let's do something else, let's check in with her, give her some space, give her some water. And there was one more shot that Lily needed to do. And it was kind of the pivotal, like the close-up shot. And so I'm already sort of thinking, well, we're going to rework it. We're going to, you know, performer comfort above all else. Lily walks out of the bathroom. You're amazing, you're beautiful. Looking like full white, sweaty, and said, I am ready for my close-up. and we said, like, are you sure, Lily? Because from an artistic perspective, yes, you look like you were really ready. Like, if we're gonna go in and get the close-up right now, like, you have never looked more like your character. Yeah. But, you know, emotionally and, you know, taking care of you. And you're like, no, dude. And she just nailed it. So that was literally like, you literally made yourself sick for that scene.
Yeah, it was cool.
And then the two of you, I keep thinking back, and I don't think I'll ever forget the scene we shot where you two come to blows.
You did so good.
I almost blacked out.
You did so good.
Yeah. And this was one where, you know, I knew I put it in the schedule a few days in so that we could build to it, because it was definitely not the thing you do on day one.
I think, I think that helps.
And so by the time we got that, it was kind of towards the end of the run. We'd all been working together. You two had been working together for some time. But I have never, when people see what you did, Max, they don't even know, I will say you didn't throw up.
No, I didn't.
But you could have from the state you put yourself into in terms of just the breakdown.
Yeah.
And Penny, likewise, as much as you live and eat and breathe this stuff, and it comes very naturally. You always are on point with your execution. That was the scene where your character had to show that glimmer of vulnerability.
I think she was faking it though. I know you wrote it, but I feel like hope springs eternal in Margaret, and that if he had shown the slightest bit of weakness, she would have snapped it back.
Oh, she probably would have.
Yeah. I think she was kind of faking it a little bit.
She was at least putting up the front.
I think it was an act.
Yeah. But it
had to be convincing. She had to convince.
Yeah. And it still did. And so in that scene too, I saw how you got yourself there.
Yeah.
Right. Which I will never forget in my life, Penny Barber. as one of the most intense moments, but it's one of the most intense moments I think I've ever seen.
Your sound guy is my ex-boyfriend. So I went and stared into his eyes for a minute.
Yeah.
And it worked.
No, but if I may, so we were in the middle of shooting this, and it was coming to your close-up effectively, and you said, just give me a minute.
Yeah.
And you went up to Sam, and you grabbed him by the face and just stared at him silently for 30 seconds.
Wow.
And then you pulled away with tears in your eyes and then shot your signal. So again, it was also seeing how each of you got to that place.
That's so powerful.
Yeah, that was really impressive.
Yeah.
I will love Sam forever.
Yeah.
But I'm glad he was there then to freak me out.
But it was a clearly hearkening that, pulling from that place for each of you, that when you see it in the final film, to know the context. For me, that's why I love directing. I love being able to work with actors, and all that I can do is give you good baseline material, but it's what people bring to the role. So when I say that everybody gives a shit, that's the criteria for doing it.
You do a lot more than that.
Yeah.
I mean, we can tell that Lily and I were talking about, we can tell that you love directing.
Yeah.
So
You just paint the picture, and then you also act out what we're supposed to do as well, which is so helpful.
You create that collective hallucination.
Yeah.
And then we can take part in it.
Yeah. Well, I'm very good at hallucinating.
Oh, good.
I enjoy hallucinating. No, but for me, really, the true love is setting a scenario and telling stories that don't normally get told, but then bringing people in who can connect to it in some way. Because everything pulls from some degree, as you each said, it pulls from some real place. But then people who give a shit, because that's what brings the passion. So and everybody had sex in this movie, despite the.
I'm trying not to sneeze. Give me a second. Okay, it's gone.
Everybody had sex with different, except for you two. You two did not have sex.
I know.
Definitely,
oh
you
my
two did
God.
not have sex. But there was still a lot of sex going on in this movie. So how do you, as actors, especially as actors who are also filming sex roles?
Can we talk about the scene that Lily and I did where we couldn't touch each other?
Yes,
That was
really
crazy.
fun.
I thought it was hot. Sorry.
So everybody still needed to have sex in this movie, right? So how, as characters, and we can bring up that scene, how do you go from telling these really complex stories to also having really intense sex scenes? How do you marry those two as adult actors?
Honestly, mine was really hard because my character, this is the first time. I feel as a male talent, I'm supposed to keep my composure in very fucked up situations or really crazy weather or whatever, uncomfortable positions, whatever. But my character for this one, I had to lose my composure multiple times and show a lot of vulnerability and do a lot of things that aren't necessarily sexy. So when it was time to be sexy and have sex with someone, it was very hard to flip the switch and be okay, now I'm supposed to get hard and now I'm supposed to try to make you come. That was very tough. But I got there psychologically, so that was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, and also your sex scene together wasn't the sexiest of scenarios, right? It was kind of Yeah, well, yeah, that bed. Oh man, that bed. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Literally nothing was going right.
Which serves the story.
Yeah.
Definitely serves the
innocence,
story. Yeah. How do you kind of bring that? I mean, your sex
I like
scenes.
it. Yeah, I like you're like basically like go enjoy yourself. I don't have to do it.
I did give you the direction. Now I want you to do what you do best and make us proud. Shout out to Axel Hayes. He played one of the stepsons, Henry, the golden boy.
He has this little innocent face that he does where he's like
Yeah, he does.
It's so
that
funny.
face came out a lot in the scene with Mother. Yeah, it did. It did
I would
for
say
sure.
things and he'd be like,
Yeah.
Okay, mommy.
There is one scene in the film between the two of you,
Yeah.
which is really meant to be like a kind of ultimate manipulation by Margaret's character after you've been kind of put through the family ringer. And it did not involve traditional sort of lesbian sex acts.
so hot though.
Let's talk about that. How did you guys take that situation between those characters and make it one of the most intense lesbian scenes I think I've seen?
Yeah. I mean, you go ahead.
I mean, I'm curious to hear what you're gonna see. I was like,
Well, I just thought it was even more hot that, and I was saying this to Bree yesterday, that we didn't actually fully have sex. You know, the fact that you were just watching me masturbate or I was watching you do things and there was just this tension of wanting and needing but not fully getting. I think that's so much hotter, more hot than...
I liked it because it was all the things that I like about mommy stuff, and I know it wasn't really a mommy-daughter scene, but it felt like a mommy-daughter scene. So like one of my big fantasies is being like a pageant mom and having, you know, a beautiful young blonde girl who is going to, you know, just like tell her like, you're going to do it, impress me, you know, and also I'm a talker.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like directing and manipulating Lily into performing for me. And it took a lot out of her. It was really intense. And then you guys were like, okay, now we got to get the close-ups. And she was like, what?
Oh yes, yeah.
She had to do it again.
That's right. Like, there was one build-up where you afterwards you were definitely like, whoa, I don't know if I can recreate that again. Yeah.
It's very intense.
Yeah. Well, and I like it because finding something taboo in a taboo movie. That's one of the undercurrents of this project, right? Yeah. And I think the fact that, you know, it's not just a scene where everybody has a sex scene together at some point in the movie, or like it's always following the same formula.
Yeah.
I like the fact that like your character really does manipulate Lily's character into, you know, becoming this kind of, it really, by taking a very maternal, let's see what you're doing and I'm going to help you.
Well, almost putting her in a dangerous situation at first.
Yeah.
And just so that she can like intervene, or at least like letting it happen.
Yes, yeah.
Then intervening, and then like under the guise of carrying, asserting dominance and letting her know that like you're here to do this for my whole family. So
yeah,
it's fun.
absolutely. And you had a pretty standout scene with Mr. Charles Dara. You know, again, shout out one of them, probably the most popular actors, you know, in Pure Taboo's history. And we really wanted his character to come in and sort of be the essential Dara, which he delivered. But the sex scene between the two of you could have just been, you know, because there wasn't much to it. We don't really script sex scenes. We just set up the situation, and at least in the situation it was sort of him essentially kind of, you know, seducing you and convincing you into a scene, but it ended up being this very like super hot, like power dynamic scene. So you want to speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it was a total kind of, I guess, cat and mouse situation in the beginning. And I just kind of went into full sub mode, which is really nice because a lot of times I do get put in a lot of aggressive or aggressor modes or like roles. And so this whole movie, I kind of got to be more subby, and, you know, that was nice. And I can go to that very easily. And so I just kind of let him do his thing, but then also gave my passion that I could give. And it was just really fun. Like I can think about like even same thing with you and I, and our, like not even the sex was the best part. Like it was even beforehand, like all the leading up to it, and just, the cat and mouse stuff. I love that. It's really, really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're not going to give away any spoilers.
Okay.
Okay. But I want you, when you think about years from now, when you think about that summer when we made the Secrets We Share, what is the number one thing that pops in your mind as like a memory that you would take away from this project? Either something that happened in the movie or something that happened making it.
I wouldn't mind forgetting this one. This one was it put me in a lot of very dark places, a lot of places that I don't necessarily want to be in. But, I took this job and I wanted to do it well, so that's what I did.
Okay.
You did so good, Max.
Thank you.
Like, I know I'm not your actual mom, but I'm like so proud
Thank
of
you. Yeah, I'm proud of myself for being able to for actually being able to do it. I've always thought that I could do it, but this is the first time I've actually done it. So like, if I can take away something, it's just like feeling of like, oh wow, I actually did a legitimate acting role.
Yeah, victory.
Because like, usually in porn, like I'm like, oh, I'm a little virgin today, like, mommy, I love you, but like this time was actually a real challenging role. So growing up in LA, I'm like stoked that I finally was able to do like a real acting gig.
Nice.
Yeah, Ed Kemper on our hands.
Yeah, yes.
What was something I'm going to take? I've always wanted, this is like kind of like, when you first wrote it, I wasn't sure if you wrote it for me, Bree, if it was like a present, Because this is like exactly.
It was a present for me.
Okay, all right. Well,
that you all gave me.
I'm glad you feel that way because I certainly like it. I think that this is going to be, it's definitely going to be one of the touchstones of my career. It's going to be one of the things that defines it. I got to play the role that I've always wanted to. Like, this was it for me. I love fucked up moms so much, and this is, again, it's not as fucked up as I get in my personal stuff, but to get to see this with these production values is going to be nice. I'm really excited to see to see the production.
Yeah, I think I'll always remember, getting myself there with vomiting and well, not vomiting to get myself there, but it happened and then thus, yeah. But I don't know. I think, like you said, it's just like I really cared, and I really care about, doing features and doing a good job and, doing things like a challenge and then afterwards feeling that victory and having that and, there's so many moments in this job where you kind of like feel out of body and you go, I'll remember this when I'm really old, you know? And then this definitely was a movie that I will always remember. And this also will be a movie too that like I will reference, like if people go, hey, where's your acting? Or can I see any of your acting? Like this will be immediately
that's true.
Right away.
There you go.
That's a good point.
Adult time fodder for your mainstream reels. There you go.
Put it in my portfolio.
There you go, exactly. All right, I want to ask each of you a couple of sort of specific questions stemming off of this. Lilly, I know you're a sort of self-described theater kid.
Yes.
You come from the community of theater kids. How would you compare your experience on this Adult Time feature compared to the one you did in another big Adult Time feature we did, Grinders, a few years ago, that also was one of our big hits, but a bit of a different
Totally different. Just so different. And then also just like my role wasn't as important in that movie as it was for this movie. Like I was just, me and Vanna were both just like slutty girls who were like, hey, like things like that. So it wasn't like a major role where I had to like get myself there mentally or anything. But I really loved doing that movie because that was really fun. And it just kind of felt like summer camp. Because you just had a bunch of different people. That crew was really cool, and then just the whole cast. And but I don't know. I've never worked with you in this fashion before, so to work with your crew so close, I just found I really, really love your crew. And you just have such a good morale. And I just hope that I can continue working for you in that way because it was so fun. I was really, really grateful.
Awesome. I want to give a shout out to Michael Vegas and Susie Q, who were the producers with me on this project, and their amazing crew. They, have been a big part of Adult Time, and definitely the whole project. They are, the wizards behind the curtain for that, for sure. Right. All right. So Max. Now, we mentioned that typically in porn you play lighter characters.
Yeah.
The virgin, the happy stepson. Was there any part of you, I know you mentioned that this is kind of a one and done. You did it, you're proud, but you might not never want to do it again. Very proud that I have that effect. Is there a part of you in any way that secretly enjoyed being ridiculed by Penny Barber in this movie?
Oh yeah, that part definitely. Yeah, dude, super. I like when hot girls are mean to me, like, but still want to fuck me.
Yeah.
Okay, like
I wanna fuck
that
you. I
caveat
wanna
is
fuck
really important, actually. Thank you. I'm glad you do.
We all
Thank
do.
God. So like, I think it's really hot when hot girls are mean. So like, it was fine. And like I think, you know, after thinking about it for a while, I think I would do another role like this. You know, like it was really fun, and it is really fun to push myself and like overcome a challenge and whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely not something I would do like 3 times a month or anything like
There
that.
you go.
Yeah.
No. Well, you can talk to Seth Gamble. I put him through the ringer many times on,
Yeah,
on
dude,
lead roles.
I'm definitely down to
There
do
you
more
go.
of these. It was fun.
Once or twice a year.
Well, yeah. I mean,
exactly.
once a year at least. We'll give you some happy stuff too. We'll give you some happy stuff. Penny, you know, it goes without saying that nobody plays a femdom quite as good as
Stop.
you.
Oh my God.
When did you first discover you had this innate ability?
They used to ask me this question a lot when I was like doing work. I just thought this was how people had sex. Like people are like, oh, well, how did you know about this stuff? I'm like my earliest fantasies, I was like, yeah, and then you get dragged into the treehouse and tied up. And I was just like, that's what you do. So I don't know. I'm just being myself. I'm sorry. I'm like this.
So it's just always been part of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lily, let's be honest. In real life, if somebody shows you, if you go on a date and somebody shows you some strange drawings of their mother, are you still fucking them?
Depends how old I was. You know,
Let's say we are definitely above 18.
Yeah.
In your facets today.
If I was 20 like Anna, yeah, I probably would still think I could help or fix or rescue or nurture or do something as us women do.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go. And then finally, with the exception of Lily, you know, well, and I guess, you know, Max, you were there too. You were definitely involved in this. Did you all think when you first read the script, compared to what the final act of the film looked like, were you in any way prepared for how it was brought to screen?
Well, somewhat yes, because I took the time to like read it in depth, like when I was sitting outside playing with my dogs. I just remember I like really read it through, and I was like, holy shit. And I remember realizing there was 3 different parts where I was like, oh, you're gonna have to like get kind of intense, you know, 3 different times. But I didn't know where that was gonna go or how much you wanted or how, you know, and then here we are.
Yeah, when I first got the script, all I was told was, I was given the script, but what I was told was that you really wanted me for this and that it would be a very hard, challenging acting role for me, and that I was the lead, and that Penny was my mom. Those are the 4 things I was told, and I was like, I'm the lead, and Penny's my mom. That means I get to have sex with Penny. Sign me up. Let's do this.
Gotcha.
I didn't even need to read the script. I was like, I can act. I can do it. And I should have read the script.
Yeah. To be fair, I sent the script as well multiple times in
did.
advance, getting clarification
You
if
did.
everybody could read the
You
script
did.
because it's a little intense.
You did, and I skimmed through it, but I must have missed some of the parts.
Yeah. It's all part of your method acting. You were discovering as we started what you got yourself into.
It was fine though. Like at the end of the day, I just thought it was really funny that as soon as someone said Penny's my mom, I immediately assumed that I was having sex with her.
You're a good boy.
Yeah.
When I first read it, I this is the kind of script I get sent. So I was just like, oh. I was like, so like it was like normal, and then I was like, oh, that's a little bit more. Okay, so I wasn't like, I wasn't sure if you just if it was like a coincidence or if it was written for me, but.
It was written for me.
know.
You are all
Okay.
just part of my dream manifesting.
I'm convinced that it was like some sort of a present or something.
Yeah,
that it
well,
was
I
like-
mean, it was, because in order to get the right performance, you need to pick the right people. So, yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Sunny California, a big house, my daughter. You are so lucky, sweetheart.
Top rope.
You must be Anna. Well, I'm Margaret. And
Hey, I'm Henry. Nice to meet you. And I'm Paul. That's my back to carry. Hey, get back here.
why did you have to do this, John? You didn't have to do this, John. I understand that you were jealous of your father and your perfect brothers.
Fucking bitch.
Mommy did everything she could for you. I even brought that girl into the mix.
Did you do these for Mommy? Your mom is having an affair with your brothers?
Stepbrothers. Make you feel like a good slut.
It's not my fault that you didn't know what to do with her.
I don't want her, John.
It's not my fault that she made you feel all those things.
Why her?
I wish you were more like your brothers. They never would have done something like this. All they ever did was make Mommy very, very happy.
But I brought you here for John.
Not like you.
It's the happiest day of my life.
I chose Mom.
Okay, so in addition to the secrets we share, which I hope by now everybody is either never going to watch because they're terrified already, or is already watching because they are so curious.
You watch it. You watch it.
You all do some great other projects for Adult Time, so I want to just highlight a little bit of that before we wrap up today. So, speaking of mothers, Penny, you recently celebrated a special milestone with Adult Time.
I did. Thank you so much for making that happen, Bree.
Hey.
Appreciate it. Speaking of, yeah.
I was part of that one too.
Max
that one
was also part of that.
really fun.
So Penny, in honor of her 40th birthday,
Yay.
sent me a full pitch that she did, like a full pitch that she did of a special episode of our Mommy's Boy series that she wanted to write and direct, also with Mike and Susie and their crew.
Yeah.
And it was one of the top scenes of the month when it got released.
I'm glad you put me in touch with the right perverts. I'm
There you
glad
go.
that they all liked it.
So the perverts aligned. We were able to celebrate your 40th birthday in style with the special scene that came out on your actual birthday.
Yeah.
And Max was one of the lucky young stepsons
Yeah, you let
to
me
be
pick
part of
my
that.
two. I got to pick all my favorites. So I got Ryan Keeley, Max Fills, and Axel Hayes.
So tell me, who also was in the Secrets We Share. So tell me a little bit about what motivated you behind crafting this birthday present to yourself.
Well, I didn't know this was coming. I should have just waited. What was behind it? So first of all, I've always been very, very excited for my 40th birthday. And the original plan was, and Sam is still trying to orchestrate this because he's disgusting and I love him. But I really wanted to have like a gangbang with guys half my age. So like a bunch of 20-year-olds. Axel had the audacity to turn 21 before, I know, he's not even trying. So it was kind of like, well, I'm not going to get to do that because it is surprisingly hard to find a gaggle of 20-year-olds who will do that.
Yeah.
But I was just like, what are all the things that I want? And then like, how can I make this something that Adult Time will probably say yes to? Like I was trying to like make it so you couldn't say no.
Yeah.
I did my best and you guys said yes. It was great.
Well, I was very impressed by the pitch because it was very professionally
Canva,
done.
baby.
Yeah, listen, no, it was very professionally done. And like I said, a great hit with our fans as well. So thank you for coming up.
Well,
with
if you ever want to do another one, there's one other thing that I really want to do.
there you go. Okay, good to know. Lily, you also had quite a big year in the past year. Okay, so Girl Performer of the Year of the 2025 XBiz Awards, the XMAs.
Thank you.
As evidenced in part by how hot that lesbian scene was that we shot. And you also had your first anal scene as well.
I did.
Really?
Finally did it. Yeah. The big A.
The big A. So let's talk about the big A a little bit. And I'm just reading this, so you're going to have to fill me in on this because I do not know the context. So speaking of your anal debut, you've called your parents butt sluts.
Yeah, I have. Which is so great that I've done
Was
that
an anal
publicly
debut
multiple times.
always...
Look at
Was an
Penny's
anal
face.
debut always your destiny?
You've said some weird stuff, so you can't even give that face.
But I do it. It's cute. Like you're like a nice girl.
Are you being judgmental?
She literally was giving a judgment face.
So again, this is our team doing their research.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, so they
So
did
was
it
an
well.
anal debut always in the cards for you? Always part of your destiny because
sure.
of the butt slut dynasty.
So you know what's so funny about the butt slut dynasty is I almost feel like two positives make a negative. You know, like my mom, you know, is good at that, and then also my father, who is gay, is also good at that. Doesn't matter if you're gay because men have prostates, and that's what they're there for.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I just realized that like I wanted to do that.
Max is just frozen.
But I just, you know, I've wanted to be an all-encompassing porn star, for lack of a better word. So I wanted to, you know, and then I wanted to see if my body could eventually do anal in that capacity. I don't know if I can, and that's okay. But it also depends on the guy. Like, you know, when you have Mick Blue, it's just like his dick is like butter, and it's uncut, and uncut guys are the best. And then I've had sex with cut guys, and you know, that necessarily, my butthole just isn't the happiest butthole with that. So, you know, as time goes on, we'll see what happens. But I think I'm just picky with my anal, and I think that's okay.
Yep.
I have an anal VR scene that's gonna come out, and I realized I will never do anal VR ever again. That was like a no.
Yeah. Can you
no.
walk us through real quick what about that particular kind of production? Because end users just see the end result, right? So they just see the perfectly edited.
Yeah.
Oh, it must be easy, right? What about an anal VR scene is not an easy scene?
Well, VR, for me, I notice, it takes away a lot from the woman's pleasure. So, like, I like to diddle myself the whole time, and then some companies will be like, we can't see the penetration if you're touching yourself. And I'm like, well, heaven forbid, I feel good.
Yeah.
So, you know, there was a lot of just positioning to make sure that you can see me getting fucked in the ass. And then luckily, I know this sounds kind of bad, but there was a situation that had happened. So not luckily, so it was a bad situation, but that made the crew kind of want to get in and get out that day. So really, we only did like 2 camera setups. So it was pretty sweet. So it wasn't as extensive of an anal VR day as it could have been. So I was grateful for that. But even with those 2, and it was with Charles. And so we were able to work together before this movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just... They put me in some really ugly scrubs, and I remember I brought a nurse outfit. I was like, could I wear this instead? And they were like, no. And I was like, all right. And then I was out of my contract, and then that was that.
Yeah. So lessons learned, folks.
Yeah.
Just ultimately, if you're going to do an anal scene with VR, female pleasure is still important. Even male, I would attest, you've probably done a number of VR scenes. You're right. Like, male pleasure is probably also quite heavily compromised, right?
Oh, absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't talk, you can't move.
can't breathe.
Yeah, you can't breathe.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, half the time they're like, Max, stop breathing. Stop breathing, Max.
You're like,
really?
okay. I'm like passing out back there. And scrubs, all scrubs are not made equal.
No, and these weren't sexy scrubs. They were ugly scrubs, and it was hot. And, you know, but here's the thing. It's a paycheck. I think about all the different ugly outfits I've been put in or things I've had to do. And, like, we're a model at the end of the day. And, you know, it's an interesting, like, middle ground to kind of fight. Because it's like, okay, you want to look good as a model, but then also you're a model and you're supposed to be doing model things. So where is that line sometimes is hard. But, yeah.
Well, on happier, more female pleasure focused areas, girl scenes, right? So as our reigning girl performer of the year, I want to know, and we actually coincidentally spoke about this on set, but who is on your personal like Mount Rushmore of girl scene partners?
Well, we spoke a little bit about this last night. So I'd say it's probably, I guess, all the girls that I used to masturbate to, but I also don't ever want to work with them because they were like girls that I masturbated to. So I kind of don't want to break the magic. And then if something weren't how I saw. So like, I mean, all of my favorites, obviously Celeste Starr is really up there. I loved her lesbian performances because she's an announcer. And I love someone that announces, telling me when you're coming, saying it. Because it keyed into me when I would masturbate to come as well. Because I'm like, oh, she's coming. So then I would. So Carly Gray is up there. Gina Valentina's up there. Carter Cruz is up there. Tori Black is up there. Yeah, there's probably people I'm missing, but I'd say those are some top girls for me.
It's a solid Mount Rushmore
to
right there.
Watch, yeah.
Did you two find this when getting into porn, those that you might have watched or had, masturbated
I got in
to?
at 18.
Yeah. You've been in long enough that. Yeah. Is there anybody that was on in your spank bank that then you ended up fucking, in real life? And
I'm sure Max has.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, luckily it's all been great experiences. Like one of them was Janet Mason, OG legend. She's incredible. Even Shay Seitz, OG legend.
Oh yeah.
Great. Such a nice person.
Oh yeah, we love Shay.
I think I've gotten very lucky, honestly.
Yeah. All right. So speaking, Max, you and your partner Haley Rose. Okay, you're like the premier couple. Like you just won favorite couple at the Pornhub Awards this year.
Thank you.
Is it safe to say that you're the two are the horniest couple in porn right now?
Ooh, yeah, I think so. Horniest. I think so.
All right.
For sure.
Assuming Haley's watching this right now, shout out Haley. I hope you're well. Do you have a special message for her when she watches the secrets we share for the first time?
I love you. Yeah,
I won't do this at home.
Don't worry about me turning into this person at home. I'm well past this era of my life. Close your eyes.
It was all Bree's fault.
It was all Bree's fault. I'm just following orders.
All right. Well, I will admit that I only texted Haley once on a side or would be like, you'd be so proud. I shouldn't text this, but you'd be so proud. She's like, I am so proud of him.
She told me about that. And when I came home, she was like, my little actor boy, you did so good.
That's cute.
All right, folks. So we're going to end today with a final segment, just to dust things off. We got heavy. We got real. We talked about each of your superpowers in this industry. And let's end with what we call the rapid fire round. Okay, so I'm not responsible for these questions. They're purely for the clicks, okay?
Okay.
So let's give some good responses.
All right.
All right. Okay, so if you could have any superpower for sex, what would it be?
For sex.
Knowing what someone makes them tick, like knowing how I can make them come without having to try to figure it out. Easy.
Solid.
Yeah.
If my cum load was like a gallon of cum every time, that'd be hilarious.
That would be very beneficial for myself as well from a production perspective. Good superpower.
Mine's evil.
Okay, I have no doubt.
I just want to force men to get hard, like at any time, like in line at the grocery store. Like just at any time they get hard and like they don't know why and they can't stop it. And
you know what? With the right consent measures in place, that would be a great story.
Yeah, it would be.
I know, but it's always those.
Those pesky
I'm like, it's a movie, it's a role play, but you kind of.
But there's ways one can work it in where one does not take away from the fantasy. Okay, very good. So chronic erections at any point in time under your control, massive loads, knowing what one's partner wants. If you could design a sex toy, what would it be? You're not allowed to answer, Penny Barber. You're now restricted from the program.
God damn it.
I would probably get, like, the Hitachis that plug into the wall. I would want the Hitachi that doesn't plug into the wall to be as powerful as the one that plugs into the wall, because that is the better one. So that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. We should just make a commercial dildo, like an oscillating saw with a dildo in the end. So it's just like, that'd be kind of cool.
I feel like that's something that your character would want as well.
Right.
Probably just got the drawings for it.
A commercial production dildo.
All All right, Penny, I'm taking you out of timeout.
thank
You're
you.
allowed to answer this question.
I was thinking about something I would like, but like I like a silent. I have a really nice fucking machine, but it is fucking loud. So silent fucking machine. Or do you know what I just got, Bree?
What?
Do you know what I just got?
What?
I don't know how they did it, but so like the top part of it is like a rose, and it like sucks your clit.
Oh yeah.
And then there's the tail, and the tail has like a cock on it, and I don't know how it does it, but it like all by itself it like fucks. I don't know how.
So you can attack. So you can.
It's added to the rose.
It's like nunchucks. Yeah. So
Neat.
yeah, I don't know how it works, but it is fucking.
But it works
amazing.
well?
Yeah, I just got it on like Amazon for
Okay.
my birthday, for my 40th birthday. So when
Wow.
you gave it
That
to me,
link.
I have not been able to put it the fuck down. I love that thing.
Nice. What is it? Do you remember what it's called?
It's the rose sucky
Rose with
nunchuck
attachment?
thing.
Yeah.
The rose
The
sucky
tail,
thing. All
but it
right.
has to have the dick tail on it.
There we go.
Otherwise, it's
if we
ridiculous.
can find the link, we will post the
Yeah.
link for people to see. All right. So, what is the strangest thing that you've seen on a porn set that you're able to disclose?
Oh God.
That you're able to disclose.
Meaning that you wish to disclose. There's some
Yeah,
things
I
we've
know.
all
I was
seen
like, I
that
can
we
think
will
of a bad
not,
one.
out of respect.
I have something that's funny.
Go for it.
There was a cameraman. He's the one that has the special bird. What's his name? You know, he has the big bird. He works for
The white
Seth a
bird?
lot. Yeah, he has the white bird.
Yeah, Sammy
Yeah.
Slater as
Yeah.
his.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so he had a son that was, of age, and he just started to work in the industry as a PA. And, he's getting his bearings, kind of trying to figure things out, but, obviously doesn't like put lube on the cock or do things like that. And there was a moment when we were shooting where that needed to be done, and Dad looked at son and said, "You're gonna go do it," And there was just this moment of like, I don't know, it was a nice shared moment between the two of them, and it was respectful, but he's like, okay, and we were just cracking up because he wasn't originally wanting to do that, but like, hey, you gotta break the ice at some point, and I don't know, it was funny.
Yeah.
It was
To
really
clarify,
funny.
when you're a PA on a porn set, there are things that need to be done in the spirit of the production that in any other job might otherwise not be allowed. So I've seen PAs holding up couches so they don't break while performers are on the other side of them fucking. Somebody does have to clean up the cum. When there's a spray, somebody does have to clean up the cum. Oftentimes it'll be even the producer themselves that have to do it.
Yeah.
But a PA will do it. And in this situation you're mentioning, if hands cannot get gooey, somebody does need to squeeze the lube bottle over the action to allow the action to continue. So very true. It was a real take your son to work day.
Yes, it was.
Okay, so that's a good one. That sets the bar.
Okay, let's see what you guys got.
I don't know. I haven't seen anything too crazy, but like something normal crazy I saw not like when I first started. Like the director had to get like underneath us in the doggy position and get the underneath angle, and there was just like drool and juices all over him afterwards. So, he's a G for that.
Yeah.
But that was crazy. I was like, what are you doing? All right.
Yeah.
Gotta get that gonzo shot.
Not my problem.
I've seen camera operators make rain ponchos out of garbage bags before going into certain situations.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes for good reason.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of happened recently. I won't say for what company it was, but I was on set and I already had like feelings about this camera guy. He dropped the SD card, down the slots in the floor. And so they spent the lunch break taking up the floor looking for it, and they never fucking found it.
That sounds like a producer's nightmare.
Oh my.
Yeah, the director
God.
she was really nice about it too. And I was just like, and apparently it was not the first time he had done it.
What?
And I was just like, why is that guy still here?
Literally, you make that mistake once, you never
should
make
lose
it
your-
again. That's crazy.
No, he was being so reckless, and I was just like, ugh. But yeah.
Yes. So when the SD card is missing, all the footage on the SD card is missing along with it if it has not already been backed up. So everybody
Which
back
had
up your
not.
cards. Don't
backup.
don't reformat until you have backed up your cards, and don't drop it down a vent. All right. My last question for you guys for rapid fire. If you could swap bodies with anyone on the cast of The Secrets We Share for one day, who would you switch with, and what's the first thing you would do?
Well, I mean, obviously, I would switch with Penny's before you finished the question, I was like, I'd switch with Penny's body because Penny's body is like friggin' amazing. But I would probably pick a guy actually instead once you finish the question because, I want to play with the dang-a-lang.
Yeah. So which of the guys? Because you got, because poor Tyler Cruz.
Well, now you're putting me on the spot now because we have to pick a dick that God, I don't know. To be honest, and this is the only reason why I say this, is I feel like Axel is crazy sensitive because when we just shot for Dorcel, he was having problems with the condom. Like it was overstimulating him and like touching him in a way that he couldn't handle. So I was like, wonder what that dick is like to feel because it seems interesting that would be happening with the condom because usually it's the opposite, but
there you go.
Yeah.
Shout out to Axel and his sensitive dick.
Yeah.
He also, as a character, Henry is a golden boy.
Yeah.
So he's kind of the most normal out of it. He is like the only one that's normal out of everybody.
As he's
and he gets
his
laid.
mom.
And he gets laid. Okay, very good answer. All right, you swapping bodies with anyone on the cast, who do you switch with and what's the first thing you would do?
Dude, I don't know. Am I switching with their character?
Yes, exactly. You are becoming, you get to be both the actor and the character they play.
Dara. I'd love to be a big white man and just like meander about.
He does have sex twice too.
That too. Yeah, that is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude fucks on his business trips. Like,
Yeah, for sure, dude. That's what I was thinking. He's probably like loaded and he just goes on business trips.
Yeah.
I'd love to do that.
Yeah,
Collecting guns and going on business trips. Yeah.
Character Charles Dara, but otherwise I was like, well, I'd be Max and I'd be like, Haley, guess what? It would be great.
Yeah, true.
All right. I mean, I think definitely. I think Dara probably has the most fun. I mean, he does maybe end up in not such a good way, but lovely choices. Thank you all for being part of this project.
Yeah,
thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks.
It was an incredible journey. Like I said, for me, it's the reason I do love directing is getting to work with actors like you all. You did a fantastic job. All right, guys, we did it. Thank you.
Let's go, baby.
Thank you.
All right.
That was awesome.
Cool.
My mom, is good at that. And then also my father, who is gay, is also good at that. Doesn't matter if you're gay because men have prostates and that's what they're there for.
Yep.
But I just,